Yeah.
I do apologize on that.
Do you
Okay, so we're back to being live again.
Okay,
So,
great, great.
people, I apologize if you didn't see us. Um, right now, it's not showing anybody coming on, so hopefully, people will start coming on. So, I do apologize. Says here, Sandy commented, so she made a comment.
It was just that was just a trial
I
run.
was high. She's Yeah, we'll call that a try. We'll call that the trial run. That's weird. You think with a brand new computer, I wouldn't be cut out like that.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
the computer's supposed to improve me, not give us agina. You know.
So it,
Wow. Sandy's back. Sandy's here. Okay,
do you know
that's
what?
all right. So I
I'm
hope Linda and Aaron come back. I guess that they're probably on before we got cut off. Okay, so there's two people in the chats. It's going to increase. I know it is. And come on,
yeah.
I've seen less popular people get more views. So I mean,
I
but
can't see it live on your channel at the moment. But oh, we've got a couple of people.
Don Schugger's here.
Yeah, hey
Good.
Don. Hey
That's
Sandy.
I met him actually in Boston. Pretty nice guy.
Oh.
Met a lot of people in Boston. I met Carrie. Have you met Carrie Mann yet in person?
I have, because
Yeah, so have I.
he came to the UK last October doing the Healing Humanity, and
Oh,
it
okay.
was amazing. Yeah, it was a brilliant event. I met so many people at that one. Dr. Kiltz was there.
Oh, Dr. Kiltz is. Dr. Kiltz reminds me of the father of the bride of a huge Italian wedding. That
Oh,
he just needs to make sure everybody is happy, you know, and just like, hey, welcome to my daughter's wedding, like,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's a really good analogy, but that's what he reminds me of.
I think it is, and I think with Dr. Kiltz, he comes out with things that are right off track, off beat, unusual. He doesn't mind being a bit different. He says different things, and he asks a lot of questions as well when he's talking,
Yeah.
and he has very definite answers.
Yes, yes, yes. No, I love Dr. Kills. I really do. So Sandy and Don, you can't have her accent. That is Deborah's accent. So stay away
Yeah.
from that.
Well, you should come to the UK, Sandy and Don. It's really good over here, and lots of people speak like this.
Then, then there might be a jealousy, like, oh, we don't speak like that. We're so jealous.
Oh,
No,
people
I'm just
people
joking.
would be
I
loving.
wouldn't mind fit. I mean, my ideal place to go to, I want to go to for like the past like 5 6 years is Italy
Oh,
because I've heard so much good things about the food in Italy. You know.
Thomas, we have met at the right minute because I said at the beginning of the year that I'm going to spend a month in Italy.
Oh.
Has any time in Italy been booked? Have any flights been booked, Thomas? No, they have not. However, there's still time, isn't there? And
There's
so
always time. There's
I
always time.
earmarked 15th of October to 15th of November to go to Italy and be in Italy for a month. But really, I wanted to go when it's hot because, as you know, the UK is not known for its hotness. The accents are hot, but the weather is not. but but that was quite a good one, wasn't it?
See, I don't mind the cold. It doesn't really bother me any. But
Oh, that's only because you're not living in it. That's only because you're not living in it. Because it's not just the cold; it's also dark.
okay.
In the winter, it's dark. It's not fun. It's not fun, y'all. But anyway, so I thought I would go to Italy when it's hot. But now October and November are still warm, but it's not going to be as hot. So I'm going to go to Sicily, right at the bottom of Italy, on the foot of Italy, and anybody listening in Italy or Sicily, we could eat meat together. And the other exciting thing, Thomas, that I saw today, because I started watching all these YouTube channels about Italy and Sicily, And I was gobsmacked to see they were talking about eating spleen. I've never eaten spleen. There was some sort of barbecue spleen, and then I went to watch another video. It was all about different things in Sicily, and they were talking about intestines. Intestines. They were eating intestines. They were sort of like a long kebab thing on a barbecue. Intestines, and then they were sort of served up. You sort of ate them, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to like this place because look at all those organ meats in Sicily. O to the M. Oh, you're on mute, Tom.
Yeah, I had a cough, so I didn't want to cough in the middle of here.
Uh,
So we got three more people in here. We have been joined, but so we have to be on our best behavior here. So we have a sheriff in the chats.
ooh.
CB Carmack is here, and then we also have Larry Ryan and Lambs is here. So welcome, guys. We're both very glad to hear from you. I don't know. I think Lambs has been on in here before, but Larry, have you been? Is this your first time here, or have you been here before? And we know Feral Grandma's been here. She just joined because she was my guest about a week ago on the 30th. She was a surprise guest. So
It's
that
good
was
to have surprise
cool.
guests. And Feral Grandma just is a great name, isn't it? I think this lady is wild,
Yeah.
wild,
You expect her to be
untamed.
on the attack. Yes.
Yeah, untamed. You never know what you're going to get. So I don't
Yes.
know. I've seen Feral Grandma before on the Carnival Sunday School that we do.
Oh, she Wendy's everywhere. Um,
She everywhere.
she's well, I mean, if you look at it, pretty much everybody here, including myself and you, is pretty much everywhere. You know, you see our names. George, I have to admit, I'm sorry, even more than you, George is everywhere. Well, it's true. He's like I've seen him with Mitch. I've seen him like, I see you too. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but
no, I'm
it's
not
like
everywhere. No.
he's like double the amount of time. Like he's really trying to earn the hours.
He is staying up. He's doing it, it's called a double dipping. So
Yeah,
he's now on American time zone. So
right.
he's like up midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. He's
He
up
was
before
on
people.
he actually was on Bob Carnivore Talk yesterday at 1 a.m.
Yeah. Well, he was on till 3:30 a.m. apparently, he told me.
You know what? I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I mean, I had to get up at like 4 a.m. to go to
Uh-huh.
work, so I couldn't stay up that late.
Wow.
I was already tired. You know,
Wow.
and Gary. Oh, just let you know, this Gary No Slow. He holds the record. Now it's up to you if you want to beat his record or not. But he holds a record for 3 hours and 29 minutes.
Whoa. Do you know what, Thomas? I'm gonna go for quality.
Okay.
Quality, not
I
quantity.
had a feeling.
Gary No Slow. So your record's okay.
Yeah,
Um, you're not going to miss out there.
yeah.
And somebody said they think that's tripe. Yeah, the intestines. Well, I've never had that. I remember if it is tripe. I remember as kids we would boil it up for the dogs. We had dogs. So my mum obviously we did feed them ordinary dog food. We didn't know about carnivore, but my mum used to boil tripe for the dogs as well and give them all sorts. Yes. Oh, this is posh. How you can put it on the screen. Are you on mute again?
No.
No.
Uh, yeah, I put that on the screen by mistake.
Oh,
I'm still
right.
learning the new computer. I've never done a Mac before. Like I've always had Windows, so I'm kind of like learning the
Ah,
new mannerisms of the Mac, if that makes any sense.
right.
But Larry actually just said, Larry Ryan, that this is his first time here, looking at my channel. So Larry, welcome and thank you. I think I know Larry from. Correct me if I'm wrong, Larry. I think I know Larry from Healing Humanity. Either that or SPG.
Yeah.
Those two. So So first off, I want to apologize to everybody. We did get cut off. I didn't realize the live ended. So if anybody's confused, you know that that's what happened. And I believe we have somebody Miss Laugh a Lot
Yeah.
is here. Oh, he's a key. Oh, I didn't guess KMT. Okay, that's totally. Sorry about that, Larry. Um, so Nikki's here from Miss Laugh a Lot. So I think we've met her um, before. No, there's somebody else that's part of your Happy Sexy Health, isn't there? Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it my Nikki?
no, well it's
No,
no, I
no,
think it's the
that's
other
Miss
Nikki.
Laugh.
I think it's the other Nikki, but I didn't realize there was two of you. I thought
Yeah, yeah, it's that bad. There's two of us.
so. I mean, I'd love to interview her too at some point. You know.
Yeah, yeah, she'd love to come on. When she came on last time, everyone was saying um she went on Dr. Kilt's, and I'm just sharing this on my Facebook just in case anybody wants to join us. Now we've got a new link. But brilliant. It's great to have so many of our classmates here and so many people from the Carnivore community.
Yep. Hello, Kat. How you doing? Another person in our group.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I keep on going off it. I'm sorry about that because I'm just so excited about what's going on here. This is my excitement face. Okay. Uh, Excuse me.
Good to know. Good to know, Thomas. If I ever see that face again, I'll know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't get really shocked by too many things. It's like you know, like when Alia emailed me about putting my name on for a certificate. I'm like, yeah, just that's cool. Like, I guess I passed. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Oh right, I haven't had the email. I think you need to actually go in and finish all the things. So I need to just spend some time, get in there and finish
Yeah.
everything. I haven't
Well,
done.
obviously, I finished because she's asking me how I want my name to be written on the certificate.
Yeah.
So obviously, if I didn't finish, then why ask me that question? You know, I keep on getting pop-ups to our WhatsApp. So I'm like seeing like George just wrote a message on WhatsApp, so it just popped up in there.
Oh, right.
That was my
Okay.
screen.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
uh, Miss Laughlot says it's smooth here, no buffering. That's good. Were you getting a lot of buffering before? And Amy, she said I finally got on, so I don't know.
They were coming on the old link because I put it in the
Oh,
group, and obviously it wasn't. It wasn't.
well, I'm grateful that you're all here. I'm sure Stephanie's grateful that you're
I
here
am.
as well.
Yeah.
And without further ado, why don't you tell us your story, Steph?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Thomas, as I said earlier, I'm honoured to be on because I'm following the footsteps of giants. Kerry Mann's been on, and I bet my old friend. You said Dr. Kiltz. Did you say has been on?
No, I haven't had. I will be having Dr. Nelson on in a few weeks,
Hmm.
but and Dr. Kill says he will be on,
Hmm.
but there was nothing set in stone. So I don't know if he's just going to decide to jump Dr. Nelson and be on when he's on or whatnot, you know. And
Yeah.
Alia said something about maybe being on in December. So
That's really
um,
cool. So, I'm follow there was another big name that you said you've just had on.
Dave Mack. Well, Dave Mack was
Yeah,
on.
Dave Mack. Dave
Yeah, and
Mack you've
I
had on.
had Russ Mitchell on.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, he's the
I've
preacher.
had a lot of
Is that
people.
the
I've had a
preacher?
lot of people on. I mean, I am grateful for the cool. Like I think everybody that's on my channel and that's going to be on my channel is super duper, is super quality. But I mean, if you're going to go by people with heavy content and stuff like that, then yeah, I've had like I'm going to have Lynn Devoki on next week
Wow.
from Midlife Carnivore, and of course Dr. Nelson. You know, I'm trying to think, but I definitely want more people. I'm trying to get more people in here. Because I want. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm taking a break on January 1st because I just just to kind of like build things up until I start back live again. So.
Yeah, you need a secretary. That's why they've got me on Carnival Sunday School. I'm the secretary. I organise all the little things behind the scenes, make sure
Okay.
the calendar's up to
Well,
date.
I actually appointed two moderators. Neither one of them are here now. But Lewis actually has managing control,
Oh,
and then I have Papa Carnivore. He's another moderator.
yeah,
So I could only give managing control to one, so I chose
yeah,
Lewis for that.
yeah, yeah. Lewis is a very cool guy. I
And he
remember.
knows his computers
Yeah,
too. You know,
yeah,
not that I don't. I'm not saying that Papa doesn't know his computers. It's just Lewis has proven his abilities with that a lot more. You know. So, Lewis is here.
woo woo.
Lewis says he's sorry he can't be there. Okay, so for some reason, I guess he can't moderate. That's
Uh,
fine. I'm able to. I think I'm doing a pretty good job putting stuff on the screen. So
yeah, and you can boot anyone out if they get outrageous at the party because this is like a party. We were saying.
yeah, I know. So you guys got to be good. All right. So
Or you got to be naughty in the right way.
yeah, yeah. Don't be so subtle that we don't even realize that you were naughty.
Well, yeah, yeah, it's so fun to be here. And my story, like so many people, is I thought I was healthy to a point before I then got sick. I had done all of the different diets, like vegan and vegetarian, and I tried everything over the years. I'd always been sometimes a little bit fat and sometimes a lot of fat. And at my heaviest, I was close to 200 pounds, um, 14 stone. And I did not feel good at all. But I thought that was my only worry. Apart from that, I thought I was healthy. And over the years, I struggled and struggled, and I managed to get my weight reasonably okay. Eating um, porridge and berries with a little bit of honey on, all sugar, I realize now. And then having spinach and chickpeas and all that jazz. And I thought this is it because they say eat protein. I was eating eggs, and I wasn't eating red meat. I wasn't eating saturated fat. So I was doing what they were saying. And then a couple of years ago, when I was, I want to say, yeah, I would have been 51, 51. And I just started getting really tired. And I call it fatigue because it was so tired. It was like I was still going about my day, but it felt like it was really hard. Everything was hard. I just caught myself going up the stairs, pulling myself up, holding onto the banister, putting one foot and one foot on the net. And I just thought, oh my God, why am I walking like this? I am a young person at 51. Why am I carrying on like an elderly person? So that was when I knew that something was really, really wrong. And my energy later on, when I asked, how do you know you're dying of cancer, my kind, ovarian? I said, how do people know that they're dying? Because I didn't want to accidentally die, without knowing that it was coming, sort of thing. And so I asked the doctor the question, and she says, well, your energy goes, you're sleeping a lot, you can't get out of bed. And I thought, oh, that totally makes sense. Because that's why they call it your life force. Your energy is your life force. When you're feeling vital and energetic, it's good. When you're near death, your energy starts to go so that you're mainly sleeping. Uh, so that's how it was in this case. So I can take a pause there because you put a question on the screen.
yes. Well, yeah. So we catch them. So Kat is asking, have you done your dry fast yet? And if so, how did it go?
Well, Kat, I love that you've asked this question. And I was very excited about this because there's a book, unfortunately, and the book's downstairs, otherwise I would show it to you. The Phoenix Protocol by August Dunning. And what he talks about is this dry fasting. And the dry fasting is very, very, very exciting. I was someone as somebody with cancer. You know, Dr. Eric Berg. I know he's keto, not carnivore, but
Right.
he says if he got cancer, the first thing he would do was go on a 21-day fast, not a dry fast, a 21-day water fast. Well, to me, the idea of going on a 21-day fast just feels out of this world. It's not. It's not something I think. Oh yeah, I could do that. I know possibly I could, but it feels like it's out of my thing. And I really wanted to get back into fasting so that I could fast, to see if I can help the cancer. And when they say things happen at the right moment, because me and my sister, we live not too far away from Lauren Tucker, Farmer's Wife, Farmer's Life. Lauren Tucker,
Okay.
she's in the Healing Humanity film as well.
Yeah.
And she does this business where she does testing, allergy tests. It's called, no, it's intolerance testing. So she tests you with all these things. She doesn't even have to prick you or anything. You just hold on to this electric current and she puts all the things that she's going to test in it. And then the number comes up. It's like magic, really. Anyway, we did this testing, but
Sounds
while,
shocking.
sorry?
I said it sounds shocking.
Dad joke, dad joke. You're taking over. You're taking over from George now. You're taking over from George. Be
Oh,
careful.
I've been like this for a long time. So
um, yeah. So we went over there, and Lauren asked me how the cancer was going on and everything, and she says, "What about this dry fasting?" And I said, "Lauren, this is just the perfect time for me to know about this because." I'm not having treatment right now, but obviously it can come back anytime.
yeah.
So this will be a great time for me to do the dry fasting. And I didn't know if I could do it because I was even struggling to do water fasting. But I tell you what, Kat, the dry fasting makes water fasting super easy. And the dry fasting is interesting. But there's a book, as I said, August Dunning, the Phoenix, the Phoenix Protocol, and the book is really good because it gets you into the details of how it works. But it's gives you the science, but it also does it in plain English, sort of. So it's
Okay.
quite an easy read. It's an easier read than what you would think,
All right.
and it explains how with the dry fasting, you would think the average person would think, and the average person, I tell you what, really commented on my Facebook. I'll put the link up to my Facebook so you can see what people were saying about the dry fasting. Um, they were going crazy about it because you think that after 3 days you would die, but these in the book they're saying do a 3 to 7 day fast, and people are saying, "But you're gonna die, you're gonna die without water." But it's like magic because what happens when you go on a dry fast, which is no food, no water, is your body creates metabolic water. It does that in a number of ways, but one of them is releasing the fat cells, so basically burning the fat. And when it burns the fat, there's fluid in every fat cell. So I find that fascinating because you go into a deeper fat burning, your water, and how you know that your body is doing this is you're still urinating throughout the dry fast. And obviously you're not drinking and you're not eating.
As
Your
far as yeah.
your body is creating this water. But what it's also doing is taking your body into a deeper state of autophagy and more importantly, it's regenerating your stem cells. So it's regenerating your youthfulness because most of the stem cells never get regenerated because we're never usually water fasting and dry fasting for extended periods. So in the past, I did a water fast for 7 days and it felt really excruciatingly hard after day 4. The first 4 days were easy, and then the last 3 were really hard. And so I slightly traumatized myself, and I didn't want that to happen with the dry fasting. So with the dry fasting, I said, I'm just going to do 24 hours to start off with. And so I had something to eat, had something to drink, and then obviously I started the fast.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, within the first hour, I was thirsty. I don't know if it's because it's on your mind because you're doing a dry fast. I was thirsty, my mouth was dry. And because normally I sit with water by me all the time, or I'm having water or coffee nearly all day. So anyway, I just closed my mouth because they said keep your mouth closed. I know it sounds obvious. Don't talk a lot. And I thought, oh gosh, I've not normally got my mouth closed. Anyway, it was kind of hard, and I a bit, I put all the glasses and cups and like water bottles away. I didn't have anything out just in case I accidentally had something. But I made it the 24 hours. I didn't do anything. I was just resting. And I was looking at the clock on the countdown to the end of the 24 hours so I could eat and drink again. But having done it, now I find water fasting much easier because I can just be on the water all day. And so the water fasting is much easier now having done the dry fasting.
Okay.
But also, I know that I'm ready to do a longer water fast because I want to get up to, for people with cancer, ideally, you'd want to get up to a 7 day water fast.
Mhm.
But even if you can only do shorter water fasts, sorry, a 7 day dry fast, because they say it's 3 times more effective than it's 3 times more effective than a water fast. So whereas Dr. Eric Berg said he would do a 21-day water fast if he had cancer, you could do a dry fast for 7 days, and that would be equivalent in terms of the autophagy, the regeneration, and all the rest of it. But
Okay.
that does take a little bit more doing because you do go through it a bit on the way to 7 days. But yeah, so
That's
that's what we
cool. I mean, I personally, I'm a little leery to do a dry fast. I think I would start off with just one day if I was to do one,
yeah,
and then move on, like each time, like see how I felt and see. But there's a lot of people doing dry. I know Kerry Mann did a dry fast. I
yeah,
think Adam might have done a dry fast. I'm not really sure about Adam, but I think he
yeah,
might have done a dry fast. And Kat makes a good point. She goes, well, not point, but just a good comment. She goes, I don't know if dry fasting is recommended for people with kidney issues, but I might have to look into that. So I would actually say, Kat, yeah, look into it. I
yeah,
mean, if you're not sure about something, definitely do the research.
yeah.
Um, if you can, like, you're in the Zoom calls with us at 5:30. I would ask Dr. Nelson or Dr. Kiltz too. I mean, their biggest thing is fasting. They've never done. I don't think they've ever done a dry fast, but I'm sure they have some knowledge on how it could affect your kidneys and stuff. So I would ask them and just do some research. Would be my suggestion to you. And Sandy is asking QQQ, so I have to honor it because she did put the QQQ in. Are you in remission?
So, Sandy, no, I'm not in remission. Um, my cancer has never completely gone, but we can get back into that. I'll tell the rest of the story, and we can talk about it.
So if you want my asking right before you start back up again, what can like if you don't? I'm sorry if I don't know this,
No,
but
no,
what
no.
what is the cancer exactly that you have?
So, I was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. There are different kinds of ovarian cancer, and mine's called high grade serous ovarian cancer.
Oh God. Yeah, my mom actually had she had breast cancer, and then then it metastasized. Like she actually went to remission. She was in remission and everything, and all of a sudden she gets the. And they said sometimes it doesn't go in remission. Sometimes it likes to play peekaboo and like hide, and that's pretty much what it did for her. And she ended up getting into it went to her bones and deteriorated, and eventually deteriorated the skull and gave her like really bad concepts of dementia. Like she didn't even know who her granddaughter was. That's how bad she was.
Oh.
It's a horrible. I don't really want to say disease, but it's a horrible thing to happen to anybody. So I feel for you. And I know Lainey Goodenough too.
Yeah.
Is also has a form of cancer, which I have to look into that. I have to look at that video, but I know it's like one of George's, missions, and everything like that. And, so, I'd love to have, I wouldn't mind having Lainey on I'm going to keep on saying that. I wouldn't mind having Lainey on because I'm sure she has a really good story.
Oh,
It's
it's
not,
it's
it's not just us, it's our spouses and our families that may be able to tell something. Like I'm going to be lucky enough in a few weeks to have Kat Herman's husband's going to be on my channel.
Oh, wow.
So,
Good for
Kat helped
you.
arrange that. So that's actually pretty exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
So sorry about that. Um, you go on.
Well, Kat's actually in the comments saying she's on a water fast right now, just not sure about a dry one. Well, if you look into it and it works for you, Kat, then you could try one. And what I would say about trying a dry fast, most of us are doing intermittent fasting anyway with carnivore. It just naturally happens because most of us are eating 1 or 2 times a day for the majority of people, and some people might be eating 3 times a day. But obviously, you're not eating in between that, so you could call that fasting. But what anyone can start doing is in the evening drink all you drink and eat during the day, and then in the evening, just don't drink anything until morning. Don't sit there, with drinking things because, and then you can see if you can lengthen that dry fast for this deep healing. But I really recommend. I'm not on commission or anything. Getting the book, Phoenix Protocol, all about dry fasting by August Dunning, because that gives you the mental training. This is really deeply healing you, rejuvenating you, and also as a bonus, if anybody is losing weight or in a weight plateau, then going on a dry fast really helps to get you into a different space. Because I just did it for 24 hours. I wasn't doing it for weight loss, but I lost 3 pounds in the 24 hours fast.
Wow.
And I know, which is crazy because uh, anyway, after the fast had ended, usually you would expect to put all of that weight back on, but I've actually gone down a little bit more because I've stopped drinking as much. I've realized I don't need to drink anywhere near as much as I'm drinking. And I still dry fast, if you will. I just drink during the day and then I have a closing. I'm not drinking after so and so time, and then I go through the night as a dry fast because I think that's all going to help with my health in general, but also my cancer.
Okay. So, I'm not really seeing any more questions in the chats. There is a comment from CB. I'm just gonna put that up. Found it yesterday. One of my best friend's sister, who was also an ex-girlfriend of mine, and first love died. Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry, CB. No one wants to hear that. I had no clue she had diabetes, but he said she went into a diabetic coma and died. CB, I am in awe. I am so sorry to hear that. No, that's. I mean, cancer and diabetes both. They're just, you know. I mean, it's why we're here, isn't it? It's why we're all here. To help with these things, help with these metabolic issues that come come to us, you know. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah, and it is sad because it's all just killing us slowly. And the irony of it is, people think they're being healthy. They're not eating the red meat. They're not eating the fat. They're not eating the milk. They're not eating the cream. They're only eating healthy carbs and salad,
yep.
and it's killing them. It's killing us. Because I was doing it. Anyway, just on the fasting, I just thought I'm actually dry fasting at the moment, but I don't see it as a long fast or anything. But I had my because since I did the dry fast, it's like been I found it quite hard to do. I was counting down the time till it was over, but I now feel more fasting ready for the next time. And since I did it, I'm now eating one meal a day instead of two. I've just made the one meal bigger. And afterwards, what I do is I drink for a bit after the meal, um, and then I dry fast all the way till the next day.
Okay.
I'm, I'm
So
not
you've
going to,
had intermittent dry fast then.
yeah, yeah, kind of. And when I've got 2 days where I can try out the 2 day dry fast, I'm gonna try that again and see how I get on because now I've got a better angle of it. I think
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
able
You
to.
push, but not. You don't fully push. You just push slowly. Just you
Yeah,
kind of like suggest a little bit more. I'm getting what you're doing. That's probably how I would want to do it. You know, just start slow and just bring myself into it. So sorry about that. I just, you keep on saying things that say.
no, I know. Well, that's what we're here for. A little bit of chat. And Lambs is saying in the comments, yeah, water fasting might be a safer way with a kidney condition. That's
Yeah,
their intuitive thoughts. Yeah,
yeah. I
sounds.
mean, I would think so too, but like it's kind of a double header here. It's like like I agree that water fast would be better for the kidneys and all that stuff. But also too, I also understand. I think you two too, understand that we kind of have to do our own n=1 experiment on ourselves, and we can get all the advice that we want, but you need to do your own experiment,
Yeah,
and that's just as important,
yeah,
because I could get, how many people in the chats and stuff like that, or just like give me like advice, like, oh, you should do this, or you shouldn't do this, or you should do. Well, I gotta make that decision for myself, and I sort of, like I think we all have to kind of like bat the ball and try to hit it, on our own, not with anybody holding the ball for us and swinging for us. And
and what we have to remember, I don't think ancient man was walking around with a water bottle 24/7.
no,
I think they were drinking water, not necessarily once a day, but I don't think they were drinking all day. So even though calling this a dry fast, it's just when we're not eating and drinking. So we can just extend the times when we're not eating or drinking and let your body actually have to release the fat cells for water as
right,
well. Because your body is not going to allow yourself to go into a state of dehydration. And also, as you said, Thomas, you can feel your body. I think you get after a while on carnivore, you get a lot more connection with your body, what you need. And so you can just trust yourself to. I'm not saying if you've got a serious issue or you're on medication, you may need external advice. But for the average person, you can just feel yourself. And if you want to break the fast at any time, you can.
yeah, I agree. I agree. And Kat actually said, it's too far in here for me to go look for it. But Kat said something about that she's craving butter right now. To me, that tells me that you're craving the fat. So I if I'm fasting and I crave butter, like I've had it where I didn't really want to break a fast, but something would just make it where like I just couldn't hold it anymore. So I would actually break it with either a couple pats of butter, or I might break it with like a burger patty, a fatty burger patty with some butter, like with it, some cold butter, added to it. But I mean, to me, that's actually a pretty good sign because you're not craving the carbs. You're craving fat.
Yeah.
You know, so that's actually pretty good, Cat. That's happening to you. So
Yeah. And you can always, you know, you can always push yourself and be hungry and let those cravings be there, or you can give in and carry on, fasting afterwards.
yeah,
Because we've all got our own boundaries that we want to push for different reasons. Like for me, it's important because of my diagnosis to pursue the dry fasting,
yeah,
whereas for somebody else, water fasting is just absolutely going to be enough.
yeah. And if you are craving that too, and I don't know if you agree with this, Stephanie, or not, the last thing you want to do if you're feeling that strongly about having a couple pats of butter or whatever, I would have the butter because the worst thing you could do is actually white knuckle, and push it, to where you can't do it at all, and it makes you give up. I'd rather have those couple pats of butter, and then next time you try, see if you can go a little bit longer. And that's what I would do. How do you feel? Do you agree with that, or
I think it depends. You got to know, you got to call yourself on your own BS. So sometimes,
you
I
blood sugar?
need
Just
to.
kidding.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you got to know, you got to call yourself out and say, actually, I'm going to push through for another few
Right,
hours. I need to go through this mental toughness. And other times you're going to say, no, that's enough. I
right.
need to stop the fast. So it depends. You
Yeah,
got to.
and I think you also have to find out why you're having these feelings. Is it something mental that's like, are you being like? Because sometimes I'll get really depressed. It makes me want to have something. So
Oh,
I gotta like kind of like analyze, like okay, well, this is what happened. How do I deal with that
yeah,
situation without having to eat?
yeah.
Um, like, is it really, and so yeah, I agree with that.
And that's a hard one, feeling depressed or feeling a bit down about something, something's upset you. Or the other one that really gets me is if I'm tired as well, and then something happens. And then, those are the times where I
Oh
need
yeah,
to
sleep deprived
really,
is really bad. Yeah, I agree.
you can really fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
But what, so I'd got to the stage where I was talking about being so fatigued. And actually, somebody in the comments said a comment that they really could relate to that. And I'm just scrolling back to see.
Um,
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Rocking coach Amy said, this fatigue hits close to home. I had similar experience the beginning of this summer. I felt paralyzed, like I couldn't move. That is so scary. Oh my goodness, that's the whole reason I went carnivore. Well, I can't wait to hear your story on the Carnival Sunday School because Rocking Coach Amy, because George, our friend, said that you're going to come on. So we can't wait to set the date and for you to come on.
that will be a special day for sure. Special day.
So
I think John will
I
definitely eat her up and um, enjoy that.
I I wasn't as bad as that. I could still move about. I was just, it was just hard work mentally. I was just so tired. But anyway, so I was so tired, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. And so I didn't go to the doctor because I thought if I go to the doctor, what's the doctor going to say for tiredness? Some sort of drug, probably. It's not going to get to the root of it. And I thought, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And I knew that in 2018, and this is now 2022, in 2018, I've been diagnosed with fibroids. Now, 80% of all women will get fibroids by the time they're in their 50s. Now, I believe it's to do with, high blood sugar, high insulin, that's a growth factor. And that's why so many women are getting fibroids. And although they're benign, and I don't want to worry anybody who's watching, I don't think we should just accept that fibroids are normal, there's nothing to worry about unless you've got symptoms. No, 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 no. I think we should be doing something to reverse, and the thing to do to reverse is diet. But of course, in 2018, when I was looking for something natural to reverse my fibroids, everything was don't eat meat, when actually it's don't eat sugar, don't eat carbs. So anyway, I knew about my fibroids, so I went to the GP and the doctor, and I said, could I please get an ultrasound scan to have a look at my fibroids just to see how they are now? And so I went to get the scan, and they took a long time.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just have a question to ask you, just in case anybody else doesn't know. What exactly is fibroids? Like what,
Oh, yeah, good, good, good.
you
They're
know?
growths in your uterus. They can sometimes be outside your uterus. Usually they're benign, meaning non-cancerous. So they're just these things growing, these
Now, are they more common in women?
flesh. Yes, yeah, only for women, only for women. I mean, men probably get
I mean,
growths as well.
the only reason I ask that is because I mean, men could actually get breast cancer.
Yes,
So
yeah, they
you think it would be a woman thing, but
yeah.
I just want to make sure and just be a little bit more educated. So
Yeah. So
so
they're just growth. So basically it's a bit
thank
like a tumor, I suppose, but it's usually it's non-cancerous, although they can be cancerous, but
right.
it's much less likely. And so often no treatment is suggested for them, although you can have them removed. Um, and some people have terrible, terrible symptoms, and sometimes they're so big because you can imagine they're feeding on all the sugar, and they're so big that they make women looking pregnant. So my belly had puffed out a little bit, and I thought that was the fibroids, but during this tired period, so I went and I had this checked out, and when I went for the scan, they were taking donkey's years with it. English phrase. They were taking a long time, and you can do it across the belly, and without being TMI, that you can do it inside. Anyway, she was going around every area to look at these fibroids, and so I thought, oh, something's wrong. And then I got a call from the doctor to say that I had some growths on my ovaries and obviously loads of fibroids. And I went through all the scans between October 2023, we're in now, October 2023, up until the January of 2024, when I got the final diagnosis of stage 4 ovarian cancer. So it's on the ovaries, but it was metastasized to the spleen, the liver, the kidneys, the bowel, and the omentum. The omentum, I had to look that up, was the lining of the whole stomach area. So it's really spread out in lots of different places. And so I also had a biopsy. So this is in January 2024. And honestly, it feels like a lifetime ago since that, but it's only last year. So I had a biopsy was where they make a hole in your belly, go in, take some cells out, some of the cancer cells. They got an ovarian, sorry, they've got the ultrasound scan so they can see where everything is, and then they're prodding you. It actually was a bit uncomfortable. They make a hole and take some cells out, but people say that biopsies spread the cancer. And that's kind of what I think happened, because although obviously I already had ovarian cancer, my belly was a little bit fluffy, but it wasn't like massive. Anyway, I decided not to start on the chemo just to see if this would go with just the diet and hyperbaric oxygen, this, that, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, between January and the March of 2024, I went from having a slightly puffy belly to looking like I'm 9 months pregnant, just about to drop. And I was very clever with disguising it with clothes. But if I went to the gym, because it's tight fitting, I would just keep getting congratulations. Oh my gosh, when are you having your baby? So excited for you. Is it your first one? Honestly, Thomas, I did not have the heart to tell anybody that,
Right. Like
it was
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah.
exactly,
We didn't want to know what the sex was. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So, but it was a bit scary because you feel like that film, the with the belly, oh god, the film where the alien comes out of the belly.
Oh, aliens.
Yeah, yeah, alien.
You had the right description. You just didn't realize that was the name of the movie.
Yeah, so alien. So that's it felt scary, like there's something taking over, and
Yeah.
it's growing so fast, and I don't know how to stop it. And it was. I'm laughing about it now, but it was scary, and I was really sad. I was crying all the time, and it was just really really hard. And so after that, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to have the chemo. There might be ways to do it without the chemo, but I don't know what they are. And, I want to be here to tell the tale. So I started having chemo. Luckily, I responded really well. It went down, the cancer about halfway. And then we did a scan. That's how we knew it was gone down about halfway. But it was still all spread out through on all those different organs that I mentioned, and they said they could offer me an operation, and the operation would be um, taking out the cancer, but they've got to give a big margin around every bit of cancer. So they would have to.
More than just the cancer, basically. Yeah.
I'm going to be like a tea bag with holes in, like um, um, they would around the kidney, around the spleen,
Yeah.
around the bowel. They might have had to give me a bowel bag. They would have had every different organ
You like
has
Swiss cheese, yeah.
Swiss cheese. That's a better one. I would have been like Swiss cheese. And I said to them, well, how much longer would I live if I had that? And they said, on average, you'll live extra 12 to 18 months. Remember, could have had organ failure. Who knows, when they cut you up and sew you back together, anything can happen. You can have bleeding, you can have an infection, you can just have the scar just is ugly. That can be depressing. Because sometimes they do the scar in the wrong place on the muscle, so you've got a bit that's hanging. That's happened to one of my friends. Um, I could have had a bowel bag. That would have been traumatic. I know that lots of people live happily with them, and I could have lived happily with them. But for the next 12 to 18 months, I thought, you know what? I would spend quite a lot of that 12 to 18 months quite sick. And
Yeah.
at the moment, I feel all right. So I didn't actually have that operation. And um, and I was flying high. I decided to go on holiday because I really believe in sun now. And I tried to get a lot. We have to leave the country to get sunshine. So I went away a lot. But then come Christmas time, I had gone a little bit off piste as well over Christmas. But also it's December and I don't feel as good because it's dark and freezing cold. Um, anyway, it started to grow again in the December to March, and I ended up having chemo again March to June of this year. So since then, I've started doing some new things like the GKI, trying to get into ketosis and all of that. I'm now trying fasting. But when I had my second round of chemo, I tolerated it so well. I feel really happy. I feel really lively. My energy is back. I feel so good. I can't believe I've got cancer. Anyway, when they did the scan again, I was convinced they were going to say, "Oh, there's hardly anything there," or nothing at all. However, what they said was, "It's still there. It's only gone down halfway again." But we can't give you any more chemo. And this time, the surgeons looked at whether it's operable or not, whether they can operate. And they said no. They didn't think the balance of the pros and cons that they should operate because, again, it was all spread out. And so now I've got no treatment. They offered me sorry, they did offer me a drug. And this is controversial. So I'm not suggesting that anybody who was in this similar situation should do what I did. But anyone with cancer or any chronic disease should look at the what's been offered and then make your own choice. Because even if I did everything that the doctors said, my chance of dying within 5 years is, according to them, 85%. So even if I do everything that they say, I'm going to that the likelihood is that I would be dead within 5 years of diagnosis. However, if I do what I want, I can live how I want. I may have the same outcome at the end of it, but I feel good about that. I feel better about that. It doesn't mean say I'm going to live forever just because I didn't have the op, or I. What I'm now about to say is one of the final parts of the story was they offered me a drug called Nariparab,
Okay.
and it's so interesting to me because it defies logic. And before I even start speaking, I'm just going to say I'm not a doctor. I may have this wrong. Do your own research as if this drug or similar drug is offered to you. It's called a PARP inhibitor. And how it works is, because now that we're carnivore, we know to ask, how does the drug work? So this PARP inhibitor, Nariparab, and there are other ones, but the one I was offered is called Nariparab. How it works is it stops your cells from healing. So it stops your cancer cells from healing. So they can't repair themselves. And so that should, help to kill the cancer. However, it sometimes doesn't work on the cancer. It doesn't always work. So, but the problem is it stops all your cells from working, not just the cancer cells. It can't distinguish which cells. So all the cells in your body is going to stop them from repairing, from healing, from regenerating. And you don't know which cells in your body. I suppose it's a bit like if you've got type 2 diabetes, you don't know where your body's going to start breaking down. It could be
Right.
your eyes, it
Could
could
be
be your
anywhere.
ears, it could be your nerves. Um, so so the list of side effects, they give you a A4 booklet, a big booklet with all of the things that can go wrong. And I just said to myself, oh, so I looked online. I started researching. I tell you what, you have to become a researcher with when this sort of stuff happens because nobody else is as interested as you are. So anyway, so
Oh, that's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah. Sorry, I just
no, it is true.
you hit the
Anyway,
nail on the head on that one. That's definitely
I found this document, and it wasn't from the UK Health Service, it's from the Canadian Health Service. And it's like a flow chart of how, questions you can ask yourself to decide whether to take Nariparab. And this is the thing that I just found absolutely mind blowing. This drug, where it's got so many side effects, they have to give you an A4. This is A4. They give you an A4 booklet
okay.
of all the things that can go wrong. However, this drug does not extend your life. There's no evidence from the drug companies that the drug extends your life. What it does do, and what they constantly talk about, is disease free progression. That means the amount of time between, like, in my case, the cancer hasn't regressed, but say somebody's cancer had totally gone away and the amount of time to when the cancer starts coming back. That's the disease-free progression. So what they're saying is it'll be a longer time until you next get cancer if you take this drug, but you're not necessarily going to live any longer. So that just blew my mind that you could be taking a drug that costs so much money. Well, it doesn't obviously cost to us because we're in the UK and we don't pay, but it costs the government money. They're
Right.
still paying.
There's still a cost somewhere in there. Yeah.
There's still a cost. You're taking this drug only not to live any longer. Anyway, because of the long list of side effects, I decided actually I would rather, if my time is limited, who knows, I would rather live as much as possible, enjoy myself as much as possible, travel and get in the sunshine in Sicily and eat tripe, um, and you know, eat good meat. I don't want to be laid up with all these different things going wrong that were not caused by the cancer. Um, so that was my decision. That's where I am at the moment. So to let everybody know, I'll put the call out again. If anybody is in or knows anybody in Sicily or Italy, I'm going to Sicily for a month. To I know it's a bit late in the year because it's one of those things that I promised myself. I don't travel like going away for a long time very much. Well, obviously done quite a bit of traveling because in the UK you've got all Europe on your doorstep, and I've been to America and a few other places. But I haven't done what some people do: travel from one place to another,
Right.
travel extensively, and all of that. And so, one of the things that I wanted to do when I retired was live in Italy or live part of the year in Italy and maybe come back to the UK for a few parts. But I put it off. And then when I got this diagnosis, I've been through the mill a bit last year because that was the first main year of all going, everything happening. And I promised myself this year I would go away for a month. I have not bought my ticket. I have not booked my accommodation. I've done nothing. So today, I've given myself a kick up the bum. I've been looking on Airbnb and flights and everything for the last couple of days, and I'm going to go. And I booked a conversation with somebody from YouTube who she specializes in this area, just to check where I'm going and to give myself a bit more confidence about where to stay and stuff like that from a local person. But if you happen to be out there and you want to eat tripe, or what was the other one they had? Spleen. I
Mhm.
watched somebody else talking about Sicily saying they eat spleen.
Yeah.
I would love to meet up with you while I'm there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just heard that the food there is just so much. It's like it's almost like it grows like it's special soil. Like, well, even like the plants, you know. When I found out about it, I was eating, vegetables and stuff like that. But I heard the meats, like the fish,
Yeah.
is like it's like you catch. It's like, and there was one guy who was telling me I love fresh mozzarella. He
Mm,
said if you get it from Italy, it's 10 times better. And I
mhm.
know Bella said something about the butter there is like to die
Yeah.
for, you know. So
Yeah.
it's just it's like they know what freshness is. There's no preservatives in the food. There's no, it's just total bliss. That's what I'm hearing, and I just that's where I'd want to go. Right now, my niece is actually in France. She's actually going to college in Paris. So she's saying some good things. She actually tried snails for the first time,
Wow.
um, which is one thing that I've never done yet. I've almost did it, but when I had a chance, I was like 10. I was like, I'm not trying snails. Are you kidding me? Now I might try it just because of being carnivore.
Yeah.
But so Larry says he has to get going. That he'll see us tomorrow morning
Hmm.
um, on the Good Docks in Alia. So, Larry, thank you for coming on here, and I appreciate it. And Kat had to leave too. So, both of you, thank you. Kat, you gave some really great questions, and you know, and I'm always in awe, no matter what person's on my channel.
Mm.
But you do have a pretty, and your story, even though it's not the same thing, sort of does take me back to my mom. I was very close with her, and sort of like puts like a skip in my heart a little bit, and in a good way. But so I thank you for telling that part of the story, because I feel like you're kind of like speaking for her as well. And I kind of wish that that we knew about carnivore sooner, because maybe I've often said, like, I never really followed Thomas Seyfried. I did briefly meet him in Boston, but I never really followed Thomas Seyfried. But I wish that we learned about him. Like my mom knew about carnivore and keto. She used to watch.
Doing
She
it.
used to love to watch Dr. Barry, and I think she like I've said this to everybody, so there's not a person here that doesn't know it, but I think she had a crush on him because he spoke. She would sit up, and no matter how much pain she was in, she would sit up and she'd say, I gotta watch the video. What video is it? Oh, I saw this video. Okay. So I go to turn it off. No, what are you doing? Barry is talking, and she tolerated Nisha, so and then and then she also loved Bella, and I actually told Bella this. She was like, "Well, that's honorable. That's nice." That I mean, she wasn't like sarcastic like that, but she used to love Bella when she used to do her videos. I don't know if you remember or not, but she used to play the piano at the end of her
Yeah.
videos, and my mom it just soothed my mom and helped her go to sleep, you know, and because it's hard, I mean, like she just there was one time when my sister came to visit, and on the wall we had my niece and my nephew on the wall, and she goes to my sister. She's like, "Who's that girl up there? Is that you?" And she had no idea who the girl was, and make it really, really on the day before she died. It's a memory that I have. She she had no idea what was going on, you know, and she asked me if I could dance with her. Now I don't dance that often, but I do dance. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not like a rock and roller. And we were dancing and everything. I was dancing with her, and she goes, "I'm so happy." And I'm
Oh.
like, because we're dancing. She goes, "No, because I know what's going on now." And then the next morning, she died.
Oh. Well, sorry, and didn't you say that she started keto and then she stopped?
Yeah, what happened was this: two reasons why she stopped. People can influence you,
Mm.
sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. And I love my sister, but she didn't think keto was good. She thought keto was going to be very bad for my mom. It wasn't carnivore. We had no idea about carnivore at that time, and or we are just starting to concept carnivore. Like I think it was like around the time that Dr. Barry announced he was carnivore, and we kind of thought like, okay, Dr. Barry, you're crazy, really. And she wasn't the one. I'm a firm believer that you need a why, just like Carrie says, just like Jen, like um, I think the why thing came from Dr. Wiederman actually,
Yeah.
and you need a good why. And my why obviously is to get my A1C down to 5.4, so I don't lose any more toes. I mean, I think
Mm.
that's
That's a
pretty
big
up there,
why. Yeah.
you know, and and I still, as my diabetes is doing, I see the progress and I can see the journey. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But for people that are only doing this to lose weight, sometimes the blinders come on to anything else that's going on. Any
Mm.
other benefits that come on, you don't necessarily notice them. And the thing
Mm.
is, she was actually like before that, she was like falling down. She was like falling, so she couldn't go up and down the stairs. She had to use a walker. Okay, like literally, like, and she couldn't like go up the step by herself. She had to be like I would have to help her, or somebody would have to help her. She couldn't even figure out how to do it herself. And it's before she got like like really bad with the brain, but she just had bad balance, bad vertigo. And within a month of being on keto, she's on keto for about 3 months, 4 months. Within a month of being on keto, she was able to walk up and down the stairs. She
Wow.
was able to ditch for that short time the walker, use a cane instead, and she was able to walk around. She was able to walk around the track. We were able to have, things were starting to happen for her. But the thing is, she wasn't losing any weight.
Yeah.
And because her why wasn't being met, she didn't think there was any improvements, you know? And if she stayed with it longer, she might have seen some improvements, you know? But
Definitely. Because I love that story about your mom and the dancing, and you told it before, and I'd listened to it all. I think it was on Nia's Way, and so that's why I remembered that she tried it, and it is a shame that she didn't stick with it. But I know how tempting it is. I've been there when you're obsessed with your weight. Um, but when I first went carnivore, I didn't see all the mega benefits that everyone talks about, but I could feel that the food was healing me. I could feel that, but my energy was still low. It took quite a while because my body was in such a downward spiral. It took a while before, and I was must have been malnourished because I wouldn't have had, the essential amino acids and the essential fatty acids that are in red meat and fish and other animal products. Sorry, red meat and fat, animal fat, and other animal products. My body would have been running low. It would have been detrimental. So it would have taken a while to build up to where my energy came back.
Right.
But I knew that I was on the right track because all of the facts that we know now to be true. Um, who was it who just asked, "Am I carnivore?"
That was Sandy Blythe. She was asking for carnivore, but you sort of answered it already when you said that when I first became carnivore.
Yeah, Sandy. Yeah. So, yeah, I became carnivore. Luckily, I saw this video. Lisa D, a blonde woman, she's very glamorous, long blonde hair, kind of looks like a model. She does a lifestyle channel, but she had this one video. I'd only seen her channel occasionally, but she had this one video where she's standing there in a bikini, and she had another photo. She looked absolutely amazing, and she was saying how I lost so many pounds over 50 and what I'm eating. So I went on the video, and like all of us, half of your brain goes, "What? What? Only meat?" And in my case, the other half went, "Oh my God, this makes sense." And I thank God every day because thank goodness I saw that video, because I had been looking for a solution for, like, let's say from the age of 20. So for 30 years, searching here and there, reading all these books, going vegan, vegetarian, and all this blah, 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 blah. And I'd never, ever come across the carnivore diet.
Yeah. This is not really a question. It's more like just Aaron's making a comment. Everybody talking about water fasting, and I'm drinking tea. Everybody talking about backing off of fat, and I'm eating bacon. Yeah, I sometimes drink tea occasionally when I feel like something's like aching me or something like that. I'm like, well, it could be osculates, so let me just drink some tea to kind of like see if it's the osculates. And I always make the joke too, like, why are oxes always late? But
Is it oxalates?
like, why are oxes late? And why should we care? You know?
So-
But yeah,
It's because they've got oxalates.
you know, at least, well, actually, I'm going to break that. I'm going to break that, but at least we're not doing poop talk during this particular segment because it wouldn't be carnivore if they didn't mention that. At least
No,
once. No
no,
offense, but even Bella's lives mentioned that once or twice. Yeah, in
no,
carrots.
not yet. We haven't. We haven't got on
And don't
there.
worry, we're not going to. I just had to make the comment.
But yeah, the other thing, I had some notes here, is it's not just the eating. What we find out now in carnivore is the drinking. But what I'm now realizing is that there's a lot of power in drinking water. Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you, rocking coach Amy. She said your story is so inspiring.
That's why I put it up there. You know,
Thank
I
you.
like to put up the truth. I don't like either something funny or the truth. You know,
Yeah.
or if it's both, great. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Um, Eating, the drinking water, and not drinking all the, we'll use the blood sugar drinks again, not drinking all the BS drinks again, not the sugary drinks, not the fruit juices. all of that, we now know that is poisoning us more than the food even. Uh, but I don't think we need to drink as much. I don't think we need to be walking around with a water bottle. I think we need to keep ourselves hydrated. I'm not saying dehydrate yourself, but I think that there are periods where we ought not to be eating or drinking. Like, obviously, when we sleep, we're not eating or drinking. But there could be other periods of the day also, like in the evening, when you're winding down, getting ready for bed. Also, that means you'll be getting up less in the night as well. So it kind of makes sense to even imply a bit the same as we do with eating. We have a most of us as carnivore, we know when we're starting and when we're stopping. It might vary each day, but we're not eating 24/7. And I think we should think about the same with drinking, not be drinking all day. So there's the eating, the drinking, how important the sleeping is. Now, I'm still not there with this one because there's supposed to be no blue light at night and all this business. I'm still on my phone and watching videos in bed and whatnot, whatnot. But these are things that I want to get there with because the sleep is so powerful. And the sunlight, I said to you, is like a vitamin. It's like medicine for not only for your skin, but for your internal organs, for your circadian rhythm, for your mind, for your body, for your soul, for your life. It's part of what gives us that life force. And there's lots of research about the different spectrums of light. I think we don't even know everything that light can do. We've got this red light spectrum where that's good for you, but there's all the spectrums of light
Mhm.
together that you get in sunlight, and you get different ones in sunset and things like that. They're all feeding our cells with that, like, vibrant information. And so that's like being reborn,
Yeah.
having this reconnection with nature, and like grounding, and like going outside to stand on the grass and with your bare feet or the sand or the water, and just feeling the earth and feeling the light in your eyes. It just excites me so much because that was dead to me before. I
Yeah.
did not realize.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually something that a few things that it's that I'm thinking about right now because my brain is spinning. So is I'm going to be staying at my sister's house in November. I just
Hmm.
did I don't know if you saw it or not, but I just briefly went live the other day at my sister's
Hmm.
house, and I was taking care of her dog. Her dog's crazy, but most
Yeah,
Rottweilers are, especially
yeah.
when they're puppies. And but here where I live at the apartments, I can't really, like I can't really walk around with my shoes off. There's really no grass until you get into the park, and by then you really don't. And when you have an amputated foot, you don't really don't know like people around you and stuff like that. Not that I'm embarrassed, but it's just there will be people that will say stuff. It's like inevitable. And so you keep your shoes on basically. But I'll be at my sister's house in her backyard. So all I have to do is like go outside, go with my shoes, and then take off my shoes and socks, at the chair, and then walk from the chair, walk around my bare feet. And that's going to be a good feeling that I can do that. Of course, I
Yeah.
still have to watch out for the dog stuff and everything like that. And she actually has chickens, so I'll be able to see the chickens and all that stuff. So it's kind of fun. Another thing that was spinning in my head, I don't know if it's spinning in your head. There's one person in the chats I'm not seeing that I'm very surprised I don't see. Do you know who I'm talking about?
George?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's probably doing a live right now.
Well, you know where you might be. I think Kilts actually is having a Zoom call, so he might
Yeah,
be on a Zoom call with Kilts.
yeah, because
So,
somebody just went off to that. So
yeah,
yeah. And maybe he's taking a break. Maybe he was going live himself. But yeah, he's amazing the way he
I
gets.
just had to mention, it. And I also have to. I'm not trying to be like mean or anything like that because I think it's so cool, but like we pronounce vitamins, we pronounce it vitamins, it's not vitamins, and I'm not correcting you or anything like that. I just love how you say it. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
and you're not the first person I heard say it. It's just, I just like how you're saying it.
potato, potato.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
ooh. Yeah.
it's so nice.
I
So
just had to
nice.
say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you will be. Uh, but I like all these differences, between the same language but different.
Yeah, just that subtlety. Yeah.
Just a little subtleties. And you're so big over there. What I mean is, like, every when you cut when
Thank
we,
you.
you know, yeah. I bet they all say
You
that,
guys are
don't they?
so big. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But I mean, not just people. I just mean the buildings, the roads, the cars, the shops, the cinemas. It's just big.
The
You'll come
food.
here, and the roads are quite small. Um, the houses are quite small. It's just also big, so it's exciting
Yeah.
coming to America. But yeah, so we were talking about the other things like the being in nature, the walking is so important, and the strength, and then the gratitude and social connection. Um, in the we do this thing, the 21 primal body reset. Me and my sister do it, and that is now my purpose. That's my joy in life because we get these beautiful people come through. They've never in a million years heard about carnivore. They've decided to take a chance on it for whatever reason. And all of these amazing things are happening in this 21-day period. And the latest one that I just was speaking to, and we made a video. I haven't put it up yet. His name's Godin. He's okay for me to talk about it public because he's made a YouTube video which will be on my channel soon. And he's Sri Lankan, and he was 43, and he is 43, and he has got a blood sugar of 8.6 in English, but it's 155. Do you see how I'm translating?
Yeah,
155.
I know. Yeah.
Listening.
Sounds better on your way. Yeah.
And now he's 5.2 millimolars, which is in America, and that's 93.7 in less than 21 days. And he's consistent because we had people wear a continuous glucose monitor. He's lost 6 kilograms, that's 13 pounds. He's lost 4 inches off his waist. He's obviously his wife was cooking. Well, not obviously, but his wife was cooking for him, and she wasn't going to try it. But when she saw how well he was doing, she's doing it as well, and she lost 4.5 kilograms, which is about 9 pounds.
Mhm.
Also in the 21 days, and now they're feeding their kids. They've got 3 kids on it, and so for me, that guy was going to the doctor for 10 years before, you went through everything, pre-diabetes, diabetes, etc. He's on drugs. He's stopped taking the drugs. But my point is, we, with our knowledge, are able to help people in 3 weeks when the doctor who's been going to university and gone to medical school and got eons of experience cannot help them in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's sad, isn't it?
It it is. It is. It's very I mean, I love hearing stories like that, but at the same time of loving to hear them, I get a little nervous sometimes because you get the new person that comes on, you know, and I've seen this so many times in so many Zoom calls and stuff like that, and they're like discouraged because
Yeah.
they look at this one guy that is done remarkable, and his numbers aren't really that far fetched. I mean, I've heard numbers that were so far fetched it was like there's no way that happened, but his numbers weren't that far fetched that
Yeah.
that was possible.
Yeah.
But you still, like, even me, like I feel remarkable of what's been happening to me the
You
past,
are.
but it's been not well. Actually, I've miscalculated how long it's been, and I like redid the math. It's actually only been 9 months since I've been carnivore, as of October 10th. So it's off by 1 month. Okay, because January 1st is 1 year, and I'm like, well, if January 1st is 1 year, how can October 1st be 10 months? Because So I redid the math. So I'm sorry if anybody is specific about my. But that being said, and I've heard some far fetched. I had one guy one time in the chats. He said that he had an A1C of 20.6. That's
Wow.
a You'd have to have a really high blood sugar in order to have an A1C of 20.6.
That
I'm
is
sorry.
crazy. I can't even get my head
Right.
around
I
it.
mean, your blood sugar. I think somebody did looked up in the chats one time, and it's like over 700.
Yeah.
And that's the average. So that means that some of his blood sugars would have to be in the 800s, and some in some in a little bit lower. So because it's a 3 month determination. So you gotta like think like every moment of your life for 3 months. This is what the average is. You know, and
Oh, if it was 20.7 millimolars per liter, it's 373 milligrams per deciliter. So 373.
so that would be what in English,
So for us in American, sorry, for English, it's 20.7 millimolar,
right?
and then that's 373 milligrams per deciliter.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It's a
Which
lot.
makes it like, okay, the guy would be in a coma if that was the case.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and then he's like, yeah, and then I went carnivore, and like a month later, I was like 4.1. It's like, no,
Well, actually,
no.
that does happen for some people.
Well, it
Um,
does, but I just,
because we had a guy, Tony. He's also done a video on the channel, my channel, Happy Sexy Health. But he came in and he was 18. I'll tell you how much 18 is. Just a minute.
18
But
A1C.
this was, it wasn't an A1C. This was a fasting glucose. So he would wake up
Mhm.
and take his glucose in the morning, and his glucose was 18, which is 324. And again, he was long standing as a diabetic, but his body must have been managing it okay because he hadn't obviously had any amputations, he hadn't had neuropathy.
Right.
Obviously, he wasn't at optimal, but he was lucky in the fact that some people's bodies must just be able to manage that high blood sugar better. And he came on, and within days, within the first week, he went from 18 as a fasting morning blood sugar right down to uh, around it. It was, first of all, it was 5.4, 5.6, 5.7, around there. And then over the period of the rest of the reset, it came down a bit lower. But it will take a while, a little bit longer for him to get down to like 4.8 or something like that. I think,
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I think anything in life is possible. I mean, the reason why it kind of gets, concerns me a little bit is because there are people out there that aren't doing, like even me. Like I went from 8.9 when I first started with this journey 9 months ago, and now my I call it the baseline. My baseline now is 6.2, which is remarkable in itself.
it is.
But it's not where I want to go. It's not the 5.4 that I want to
No.
get down to. So it's still a journey. So when I hear people that did it like within less than a month
Yeah.
and did a lot more of a variant, and then when I hear people that are, like to try to tell them like just keep on going, just trust the process, things will get better, and keep on going and trust the and but I also love to hear people having those success stories because it gives some hope. It's just I'm telling people out there, just realize that everybody's different. Everybody has their own, their own
Yeah.
planogram, their own format. We might have the same, we might have pretty much the same kind of like carbon DNA, but but we're not the same in every way, and our healing made us, our sicknesses made us different too. And a lot of people get concerned too about not losing weight. Well, maybe your body's healing something that you didn't even know you had wrong, you know and it's and I said this in a chat yesterday, and I think it was Bob that kind of commented on it. I think that we were, you and me, everybody in the chats, I think we were like like blinders on a horse. We had these things right here, and our vision was this tunnel vision that we had, and we were only allowed to see what was in front of us, like what was right there. And I think like a lot of doctors and nurses, they have that same vision. And
Yes.
I think what happened was carnivore took those blinders off.
Yes.
So now we see peripherally, we see, we see everything, and it just amazes me. Like every single time I think about that, it just amazes me, you know?
Yeah, because it changes how you look at everything.
Yeah.
Because when you realize the level of deceit, whether it's intentional or unintentional, and probably a mixture of both, but these drugs, I used to think that if you took a drug, well, to be honest, I've always been a bit skeptical about drugs, but the level of illness that these drugs create is ridiculous.
Hmm.
And sometimes the benefit is so tiny or it doesn't even exist, like with statins. It hardly exists. Any benefit hardly exists.
Oh yeah.
And people wouldn't take the drug if they knew. And yet it's causing dementia. It's causing everything that's caused by having your cholesterol lowered in your old age when we need more cholesterol. And it brings up all the other things like, toxic pans. Now I've got a cast iron pan because toxic pans. Then they tell you about plastics. Like I used to have some plastic cooking utensils. I've now got wooden. I used to use a lot of plastic boxes. I mean, I'm not fully there yet, but I'm making the transition to glass and other natural products. But
So we have approximately a little bit less than 30 minutes. I just got a notification. I don't know if you saw it or not, but we just got a notification that the live will end automatically.
yeah.
Um, normally I thought we were given 4 hours. We were not on for 4 hours, so I don't know why I'm getting. Maybe they changed the rules or something like that when I was sleeping and I didn't know. So we have time. I just wanted to let you know that that um, and Nvux is, yeah, and Nmux. I can never pronounce how it's is limiting me.
Well, no slow will be able to keep his record.
Yeah, I think you know what I think. That being said, I think Gary paid them to limit me so that no one could ever break his record.
Ah, now we're getting to
Now,
the bottom of
yes,
this.
I think that was
We're getting to
Gary. We're on to
the
you. We are on to you, Gary.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go back and listen to some of these episodes because now having met everybody here in the chat,
I mean, some of the other lives I did. Is that what you're
your other lives, because a lot of your live guests are in the chat today.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I've interviewed quite a few people already. The ones that I find the most fascinating, I'll say it here. Amy, of course, Amy and Aaron. you guys are fascinating, but I think everybody can agree. I think even Amy and Aaron both could agree too. Is one that was actually pretty good was Lexi Jones. She's a young lady that is actually helping. She still has issues and stuff like that, but she's actually helping her schizophrenia with carnivore. So she has a pretty good story. Very very lovely young lady, and she's like one of my favorites. And then when I just heard a bell.
Yeah.
um, Actually, Amy's saying that I was her longest interview. So yeah,
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think we almost reached 3 hours, Amy. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but there's so many. I mean, I've had. Have you ever heard of Amy Hosp?
No, don't think
Okay.
so.
Um, well, she's mostly on Healing Humanity. I'm sure George knows all about her, so you could ask him about her a little bit. But she has a pretty good story. I I think everybody's story is really fascinating, but I don't remember everything about a person because it's like so many people and so many.
Yeah.
But I know she had POTS.
Mhm.
She has just like different things. Like she's like if there was something you're going to have in your body that could affect your body, she has it. And but she actually wrote and actually one of I can't reach it. She wrote children's books. She works with Linda Vokey
Ah.
from Midlife Carnivore, and her and Lynn wrote children's books for Carnivore.
Oh, I feel I remember this
Yeah,
from an interview, so maybe I have seen
yeah,
them on
yeah.
a
She's
channel.
like, I don't know if she illustrates or not, but I know that. And I'm supposed to collaborate with her and make a character, um, like a firework character, for another book that they're doing. So but that's like down the road.
I
Um,
love it. I love it.
you
So,
know.
Thomas, I hope you don't mind me asking, when you were saying you were taking off your shoes to walk,
Mhm.
and I can't remember. So, can you walk? Like, do you need a stick now with your toes removed? I'm just curious if that's okay to
No,
ask.
I can actually walk.
Um,
I it'd be better if I got down the stairs first. Like get down the stairs, sit in the chair, and then walk. Like sit like on one of the like chairs outside, like a patio chair, and
yeah.
then just take the shoes, put the socks in. Take the shoes and socks off, and then put them like next to me on the. Probably better off putting them on the table, even though superstition says never to put shoes on a table. Um, so I think it might be better for me to do that because if I leave them on the ground, the dog probably would get to them.
And she's a crazy dog, or he is a crazy dog.
No, you're right. She is.
She's a crazy dog.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything
Two,
about
two
women.
things. My sister, they always get a Rottweiler. They always get a female. They never had a male dog, and they always name it after alcohol.
Oh, what's she called?
Well, I'll give you all their. The first one was Guinness.
Yeah.
The second one was Jaeger.
Good, good, yeah.
The third one was Tequila.
Uh-huh. Tequila,
And
what a name for a dog.
we actually called her Tiki, you know,
Oh, that's
but
cute.
which is still kind of like drinking because it's a tiki bar.
Yeah.
And this one is Cosmo.
Cosmo. Oh, that's a great name as well. So
I told her what she should do is finally get a male dog, right, and get two of them, and name one Jack and the other one Daniels,
perfect.
right, or
Perfect.
Captain Morgan, like just name Captain Morgan.
Yeah. One can be Captain, the book could be Morgan.
Yeah. And Sandy's reminding us that I live above a candy shop.
Yeah. That must be hard, but I think you said you don't find it hard.
I don't. A matter of fact, it's kind of funny. I I'm going to admit something with you and everybody here. I sort of cheated, um, sort of, kind of. And what happened was, I actually decided. I was like, you know what? I just want to have some. I didn't have any. I usually just drink seltzer, or just drink water, and I drink coffee or whatever. But I'm like, you know what? I kind of like. I want to have some diets. I want to have some Diet Coke. So I got myself a small thing of Diet Coke, like about that much. I had it, and oh my God, how horrible did it taste? It was the
Really?
word. Oh my God, I felt like I was eating. Have you ever had, like when you were sick, have you ever had like Coke syrup,
No?
like just to kind of like for your throat and stuff like that? Like sometimes,
Ah, I've had, yeah, cough syrup. Yes,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, I have.
it tasted like that.
Yeah.
It was like horrible. And then today, I had a cup of coffee from the coffee shop because I mean from the candy store, and the young lady, even though I just told her to put some, some heavy cream in it, I'm like tasting, and I'm like, this is odd. This like, it just had this like really overly sweet taste to it, and like almost like I felt like gagging, and I'm like I think there's something wrong with this coffee. And I found out through the grapevine that waitress, the person that helped me get the coffee, she put like two things of sugar in it, like two packets of sugar.
Wow.
And the other cashier, she's like, he doesn't eat sugar.
Mm.
He like rarely, like if I have anything, and you guys all know about already, like if my sugars are like really really low and I need to boost it, that's the only time I'll get sugar. But or like, and that'll just be in the form of like what we call nonpareils, or like maybe a small Oreo cookie. But I will never do any more than that. Like as soon as I have it, I'm like, okay, I'm good now, and I just go right out. I don't need to buy like a whole slice of. I don't have to buy like a whole cake or cupcakes or stuff like that. I can just I can minimalize now, so I'm in a lot more control. Before, if I bought a whole package of cookies, I could eat the whole thing in like one sitting.
Well,
You know, and it's amazing how your taste buds change, in a way. And
totally.
we just got somebody to join us. I need to make sure is Rick Charger Mopar is on this.
Hey, hello. Quack, quack.
Quack quack, the quack man.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I could show this since Rick is here. Here you go, Rick. Here's your iguana.
Oh, you've got both the duck and the iguana.
Yeah, yeah, it's a duck riding iguana. When I first showed it to Rick, he's like, "That's a huge iguana." I'm like, "Well, he has to be in order for the duck to ride him."
Exactly, exactly. That's a big one. That's the twice that has come up today.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so I mean, it's amazing how much more powerful. Now, there are some things I can have, like I am able to have a small amount of chocolate, but I'll be honest with you, like it has to be like really, really strong dark chocolate. It has to be like more like the really powerful, like 90% cacao bean. Like it has to be like very low sugar. So I think if it was like really, really sweet and sugary, I think I would have a hard time with it. But so that actually brings on a question I have for you. Okay. Is there anything that you've tried, again, the just like me, that you haven't tried in a long time, and that you did not like, that you were like, I can't believe I even like this? And is there anything that you can still have that you try to stay away from, but that if you were to have it, or that you've had it and you're like, oh, this is really good and I still love it?
yeah, that's a great question. Um, well, first of all, I feel mostly free from the call, how the food used to speak to you all the time. Because now, your body's so nourished, you're eating the
Food
fat,
freedom. Yeah.
yeah, food freedom. I've got the beef and eggs, and I'm in a real run recently of just the beef and eggs. It's just me and the beef and the eggs. And I do the ground beef. See, I'm doing American. The ground beef, I just bash it down. So I've got this like square, and I air fryer it, and it's still pink in the middle, and it's so good. Anyway, so that's very satisfying. However, and so mostly I feel quite good because I'm not wanting anything. But there are times when the cravings come back. Like I'll be in a situation where the foods are there. I'll be tired or something's happened or I'm not feeling great. And I get the call, oh, just have a like I eat the sweets. That's not even real food. It's just all chemicals, rubber,
Right.
and stuff. It's not even a food. Um, and that's the sort of thing that I go off for. Or I'll be at an event. Um, Usually, it's not even the cakes, but I do have food. So the foods that I used to really go in for, I'm making my own mouth water now. Like they don't taste that good. Like one of them was mini cheddars, the little crisps. Um, they don't taste all that cheesy. They don't taste all that crispy.
Oh,
They're
okay. Yeah.
softer. Um, so I'm learning as time goes on because for me it's coming up to no, it's just gone over 2 years in May, and that's my 2 years. Is that right? Yes, 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 2 years. So I've had all different experiences. When I was earlier into it, I used to go off and on all the time. And now I feel like I don't want to go off. On a normal day, I don't want to go off. I'm not interested in your business. But then I can have the day whereby I went to a charity event, for example. They give out goodie bags, and in each goodie bag, there was a packet of sweets. And my friend was at the event with me. She's one of the people I've converted to, um, well, call her primal. She's more like keto, well, more like keto, actually. But she's lost a lot of weight. She's feeling a lot better. There's a lot of diabetes in her family. Her brother's has lost his sight, and her dad had type 2 diabetes and also went on dialysis. So she's really so grateful to have found this. But she's just keto. And we went to this event, and I ate the sweets out of my bag before the event started. I then, during the event, got the sweets out of her bag and ate them. And then on the way home, I bought more sweets. So that's how I can just go into a little spin. But
Yeah.
luckily, that is not the norm. And I just say to people, if anybody has their moments where they go off, the great thing about carnivore is you want to get back on. Like when I go off, I want to get back on because
Yeah.
I don't want to say goodbye to the great health that I'm getting, the great feelings that I'm getting. And let's be vain here for a minute. I don't want to say goodbye to the great body because, I'm going in the sun now, wearing my bikini, remembering the days where I would wear I didn't want to put on my swimming costume or whatever because I didn't want anyone to see me or notice that, I've
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've been told not to wear my bikini, but
I
yeah.
want to see
But,
it now.
yeah. Right.
But listen, I saw Joe. Can you put Joe back on?
Yeah, I know. I put her on there because actually, she's one of the people. She's one of my. I'm going to have a guest. She's going to be on, I think, November. I
Yeah.
think I have to look at the calendar.
Well, I've got Joe coming on as well. She's
Yeah,
coming on Carnival Sunday School.
yeah, of course. Well, I think it was connected with you that I saw her.
Yeah, George.
So Juliet's actually. I just got a notification. Juliet's going live right now with Lewis. That's why Lewis probably couldn't be a moderator for my thing because he was doing this live with Rick
Oh,
and
well,
Rick is probably gone. Yeah, she's doing a live with the three of them: CB, Lewis, and Rick.
maybe we should close and go watch them as well.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we could end. I'm having a good time, but you
Yeah,
know,
no.
I mean, Rick says that something made him hungry. Probably something that Lamb said. So
And Joe says she has had it. I think everyone's or most of us, not. I bet Rick hasn't. Where you've gone off piece, you've eaten something off, and then you've not content to leave it at that. You have to go further. So yeah, I think we've all been there.
yeah. So and Sandy just confirmed about her going live. But yeah, I mean, I was going to ask everybody if anybody had the same experiences where Um, I mean, I always, I've said this for a long time, as long, like people get discouraged, like, oh, I cheated today, I had this, so I can no longer be carnivore. Stop with that thinking, okay? You're still carnivore. we all go off the rocket a little bit. We all kind of go off the track, and carnivore's like a train, and you might, the longer you're off it, yeah, you might have to run pretty hard to get back to that train, but if you have something, you go back on as soon as the moment is like we're at a point now where it's like, okay, I had a cheap meal, but guess what, my next meal was fully carnivore. Not even a matter of the next day, it's a matter of the next meal, literally. And you just have to just keep on track, just keep on going. You have so many people who support you, whether you know it or not. I mean, I will be very shocked if no one in this chats, okay, say about how the community has helped them stick to the plan.
Mm,
You
mm,
know,
mm.
um, if so I'm going to end it here so Stephanie and me can actually go to Juliet and see Lewis, and everything. But I had a really great time, Stephanie, and we're almost it's I can't believe it's like about just a little less than 2 hours that we've been
I
talking.
know, I know.
And I guess now if I'm being limited to 2 hours for my chats, I guess I got to lessen the chats anyway. So, lessen my lives, but I think it can still work. But, so just like I have on my shirt here, live, love, heal.
Addy the Beats. I love it. Oh, so but can people buy them?
Yeah. And
Ah,
I had to.
that's amazing.
And I also have my Captain Prime rib, shirt as well.
And you can get them on your channel. I just go on your YouTube and
Yeah,
get
I
them.
have the link right to buy fire. You can actually purchase them. There's cups and hats, shirts, sweatshirts, all that stuff.
Is it just in America?
Oh, I have no idea. I would think you could get them in England.
I'll have a look and see if I
Yeah.
can get myself a t-shirt and then
Oh,
come
I'd
on
love
here.
that. So far, I only have one. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if she's considered committed because she needs to be. Yeah, it's just joking. No, she's a lot. Lisa is one of the most loveliest people out there. I wish I saw her more of her. And she actually bought a hat and shirt of mine.
Lisa Wiedemann.
No, no, I wish it was Lisa Wiederman. No, Carnivore Whisperer.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
really sure what her last name is, but yeah, I actually met Lisa Wiederman. You know when Lisa Wiederman comes from New Jersey, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Her
the
her office used to be in the same area that I actually would go to the hospital in and stuff like that.
oh, right. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I met.
Oh, it's a pity you never went to Lisa. I know she's an eye doctor, but at least she's telling her patients. You know what I mean?
And she's not no longer in my area. She's now further out. So even if I did go to her, I wouldn't really go to her because she's too far away. Like,
Hmm.
there's some doctors you're not going to travel to go to. They're good, but they're not that good. It's like, to get my eyes checked, to travel an hour and a half to get to you. Nah, I don't think so. You know.
No. No.
So it was great again to have you on. I'm just going to end the live broadcast. Guys, go over to Juliet or whoever you want to go to. I don't care. But I think Juliet deserves the support, and I think so. CB, Rick, and Lewis all deserve support. So just tell them, hey, Tom sent me over here. Okay. So I'm going to end the broadcast now and just stay on for a couple seconds, Stephanie.